So never been to a place in my life as a U.S. military man to where from the minute I get off the airplane until I just about a few minutes ago when I walked in here had a simple citizen say thanks to me. Thanks for what my country did for their country. Never.
We're down here glad to see you all as I hope you are to see us. You owe one hell of a lot of thanks to these guys who went in and got you out.
Tell Mr. Reagan all Grenadians are happy to know that he took this step in time to save our life, and may God bless him.
God bless America that come to our aid. God bless America.
Right up.
We were supposed to air land and go to a blocking position and move out. Other elements within our battalion were to go and get the students and bring them back to the airplane, and we weren't supposed to be on the island any more than a few hours. Put them on the airplane and come back home. Yeah, that was the original plan. And I was next to the last to get out. I was scared to death. And we were going to push ourselves down to the True Blue campus to get the students that were held there. And as we started to do what was called a movement to contact back then to try to get to the True Blue campus, we ran into 3 BRDMs, which were armored personnel carriers. And it was funny because both the 2nd Ranger Battalion and the 1st Ranger Battalion were together at that same time, and we repelled those 3 BRDMs. We worked together to not only repel them with 90mm recoilless rifles, but we also were able to call in the Spectre gunships that were circling above to take them out. The whole thing was nothing like I expected. You know, that evening we came back to that assembly point where we had assembled earlier that day after we jumped in. And we took the parachutes that we jumped in with and used them for a blanket. And, you know, we slept on the ground and slept under a parachute and kept watch at 50%. And it was a very bizarre day. Was on the 3rd day we were given a mission to fly into Calavigny Barracks on Calavigny Point. And we were the lead helicopter on 4 helicopters. And 3 of the 4 helicopters crashed. And a good friend of mine was put in a very hard situation to have to make some tough decisions about, you know, helping people live and to, you know, triage personnel. And we flew into a very harsh situation where, you know, there was some enemy fire, some pilot error, some, you know, tactical decisions that were not made that were probably the best decisions, and just a whole host of things that hindsight, we can all Monday night quarterback it because that's what we do when we get older. But, from a 22-year-old man's perspective, it was something that, I'm going to carry the rest of my life, and a lot of my friends will, that, it was a very difficult time. And the next day was even more difficult as the sun rose and we had to, police up the remains of the fallen and make sure that they got back to where they needed to go. When we were sent home on the 4th day, I'm not aware of any more active combat. Now, there could have been, but I'm not aware of any more. There's no mixed feelings. I mean, like any soldier, what happened with me and happened with others 30 years ago, there's stuff that we still all think about, and we all have things that we carry from 30 years ago. So I don't think I'm any different than anybody else.
If anybody back home has any problems with what the United States did, they can look at our lives and say they saved them, because that's exactly what happened.
Mark.
And
Amen.
so,
It was worth it.